Let's talk about Gillette. They came out with an ad, if you can call it an ad, which encourages men to shave off their toxic masculinity.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long.
The ad says that something changed, okay? And there's no going back. And then as soon as it says that, then we see all these scenes of men doing normal, decent things, like breaking up fights between kids, refraining from sexually harassing women. And the thing that's supposed to be the catalyst, the thing that supposedly changed everything and made men see the error in their ways is the Me Too movement, right? The Me Too movement. And you hear this all the time, that the Me Too movement came along and made men look at themselves and rethink things and come to realizations and have epiphanies. This is also a lot of the men who were caught up in the Me Too movement, a lot of the Hollywood celebrities who were exposed as perverts. When they came out with their inevitable apologies, they would always have a line like this. They would say, well, you know, the Me Too movement, I think it's made all men think of things differently now. You know, so you see these guys, they're trying to make it not just about them, it's really all men. This is insulting and degrading. And if you can't see why it's insulting and degrading, then I don't even know if there's any way for me to explain it to you. It should be self-evident why this is insulting and degrading. Second, again, the majority of men will already do this. So think of the in that ad, the sort of virtuous, courageous things that they show men doing. Breaking up fights, stopping bullying, refraining from sexually harassing. The majority of men will already do that. That's how the majority of men already act. Now, the ad says some men do these things, which, think of how insulting that is. So they're showing these really basic, decent things, and they're showing human beings just acting like human beings. And then the ad says, well, sure, some men already do these things. Some? In fact, the ad twice gives this example of a grown man breaking up a fight between kids, and it portrays this as some sort of, in fact, I think it gives that example 3 times, actually. And it portrays this as some sort of rare example of manly courage, except almost every adult man I've ever met in my life would do that. Third thing, imagine for a moment a similar ad, but for women. Well, you can't imagine it because no such ad would ever be made. No such ad could ever possibly exist. Can you imagine an ad that said some women act right? You know, some women act the right way. Can you imagine an ad like that? Can you imagine an ad that showed various scenes of women acting horribly, and then it allows at the end a concession, some women act the right way? And this is an ad for like Dove body wash or something like that. Or it's, I don't know, a tampon commercial. I mean, can you imagine an ad like that? It couldn't, because you know what would happen? Feminists would literally be rioting in the streets. They would be burning the product in the street. They'd be making like Molotov cocktails out of it and tossing it in people's windows. I mean, that's how upset they would be at an ad like that. At an ad that degraded and demeaned and insulted women like that and talked down to them and insinuated that most women don't know how to behave like decent human beings. Can you imagine an ad that used the phrase toxic femininity? Can you imagine anyone using that phrase?